Howdy folks, in today's video we're going to look at what it would cost to live comfortably in Vancouver on your own as a single person in one of these apartments. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about the cost of living in Vancouver, and over the next few weeks I will do a few videos describing different scenarios. In today's video, like I said, we are looking at a single person living in a one-bedroom apartment. Now, the first thing I have to say is we're talking about how much do you need to earn to live comfortably. Now, comfortably, I guess, is a very open-ended description. I mean, one person's comfortably is another person's dump. So what I did is I kind of worked it based on, kind of a middle class, upper middle class young person and what they would need to earn to live comfortably. And I'm talking about the kind of style that, we're used to. I've lived in a couple of dumps in my life when I was a youngster, but, I'm talking about, nice apartments. So obviously, there's a lot of things that can change around this. So let's start off. Of course, the most expensive part of your monthly living expenses in Vancouver is the rent. And I went through Craigslist, which is the best place to find rental units. And the cheapest, there was one apartment or one room for $1,650, but the cheapest apartment, one bedroom apartment that I could find in Vancouver was $2,100 a month. It's not a bad apartment. Here's the photos. So that was $2,100 a month. I'm going to use that for the calculation because I suppose if you really do dig around, you can find something. Although the average is roughly, I would say, more around $2,200 to between $2,200 and $2,500 a month for an apartment. And at that range, you can get some really cool apartments. At $2,400, you can get a very upmarket one-bedroom apartment with a beautiful view. The range seems to be pretty small around that. Of course, I also have to add that one-bedroom apartments are by square foot the most expensive real estate in Vancouver at the moment. You pay a ridiculous price per square foot for one-bedroom rentals. All right, so for this calculation, we are going to go for a monthly rental of $2,100. Then you have a couple of other costs that goes with that. Number one, you're going to have internet. Now, internet, starts for 150 meg download, 30 meg upload. That starts around $75 a month at Tellers. You can go up to 150 gig, 1.5 gig download, 900 and something meg upload speed. So really fast internet. And that goes at around $165 if I remember correctly. So between $75 and $165. Here we're just going to go for the basic one. So $75 for a 150 down and 30 up. You can watch Netflix, you can download stuff, you can do everything because it's all unlimited. You just pay for the speed. Then you have your BC Hydro bill, which is your electricity bill. I'm not going to add gas costs or Fortis gas bill to this because, in these apartments, you generally will have heat and hot water included, and that's what the gas are mostly used for. So electricity, just your lights, your computers, your stove, all of those things, I guess you'd be okay. $50 a month at most. Won't be more than that. And then, of course, you need to have your cell phone. That's the last utility that you definitely need. Now, cell phones in Canada is one of the most expensive. Well, Canada is one of the most expensive countries in the world when it comes to cell phones. So if you bring your own phone for an unlimited text Wi-Fi plan, you're probably looking at around $100, anywhere from $85 to $125 per line on your own phone. That's not if you buy a phone. You can get, they got deals going now where you can get an iPhone 14 for around $60 a month over 24 months. But I'm going to work on $100. You'll get yourself, if you bring your own phone, you'll get something for $100. Next, we are going to look at food and necessities. So, you got to eat and you got to brush your teeth, and you got to like do your makeup and spray stuff, and all of those little basics. So food and necessities. Groceries, I remember, when we were youngsters, we didn't cook too much at home, so we weren't too big on groceries. I think you can get away as a single person for $250 a month on groceries, and that's kind of milk and eggs and bacon and coffee and toilet paper and cleaning and noodles and eggs and bread and, a few of the basics. I mean, you're not going to be cooking any turkey dinners at home at that price, but that should cover your basic necessities, groceries. Then, of course, I would suppose that a single person living in Vancouver would be eating out a lot or getting food, ordering out or eating out a lot. I mean, Vancouver is one of the places in the world with the biggest variety of foods from all around the world. I mean, it's a foodie's dream. So as a youngster, I would assume that you are going to be eating out often and grabbing anything from burgers to sushi to like pizzas. I mean, there's just so much going on as far as food goes in Vancouver. So for that, I budgeted on a $450 a month. Now that's one meal a day, and that allows $15 for that meal. Now, if you bear in mind that you're going to be tipping 18 to 25% for everything you order, $15 is not a lot. But for $15, you can get a takeaway. You're not going to eat as much as Connor. Connor eats 4 burgers at a time, so it costs me like $50 just for his food when we eat out. Hence, we can't eat out that much. But yeah, if you just, a normal eater, I guess you're going to come around to around $450 a month for your food eating out. And for that, you could probably at least twice a month get into a decent mid-range restaurant where you're going to spend $40 on an entree and a starter or something like that. Then you've got transportation cost. Now, for this calculation, if you're going to be living in a high-rise apartment in Vancouver, you're probably not going to have your own car, because then you're going to pay extra for insurance and parking and all of that. So it's just, you're going to use public transport. Now, the public transport system in Vancouver is awesome, but you still need to pay for it. You need to get to those places. I calculated based on a 3-zone monthly transit pass, and for transportation costs, we're coming in at about $150 a month. That should cover it. You could get in almost anywhere or everywhere with that. Then coffee. Now, I put that in because I love coffee. Maybe, I don't know about you, if you don't like coffee, you can take it out. If you get a Starbucks every single day on your way to work, you're probably looking at around $192 a month, because a Starbucks, $6. That's what it costs. 6 times 30 is 180 plus, well, $6 something. Of course, then there's taxes and everything that goes with it. So you're looking at about $192 a month just for your Starbucks if you drink it every day. Then, of course, toiletries, makeup for the ladies and shaving cream and razor blades and all of those things. Probably around $30 a month should cover that. And then, of course, as a youngster, I guess, clothing and accessories. You need to buy stuff. You need to look good if you're going to be going out and hanging out with your mates. And it is fairly expensive. I mean, a pair of Nikes are $100 to $120. A pair of jeans, a decent pair of jeans, are $80. That's if you don't go shop at Walmart. At Walmart, you can get a pair of jeans for $20 or at Costco. But, if you buy brand name, you're going to pay for it. T-shirts between $25 and $60. Yeah, so I budgeted $250 a month for clothing, which I don't think is unreasonable. I mean, people buy clothes and people buy new shoes and people buy accessories and stuff like that. All right, so that is all our food and necessities, I guess. Then next comes entertainment costs. I mean, the whole point of being a youngster in Vancouver is to have a jolt, I would guess. So for this calculation, I included drinks at $336 a month. Now, alcohol or drinking, going out and buying drinks in Vancouver is damn expensive. Beers are $6 each. That's excluding tax. That's excluding the 18 to 25% tip that you need to give. So if you just go out and you drink 2 beers for 20 days a month, so 40 beers at clubs, pubs, and restaurants over the whole month, it's going to cost you $336. So, I mean, I don't know about most other youngsters, but in my young day, I could do 40 beers in 2 days. Anyway, so alcohol is very expensive. Then, of course, there's experiences. Now, I mean, one of the things about living in Vancouver is that there's just so much to do. You can go canoeing, you can fly in the little water planes, you can go on boat rides. There's just so much to do. That's what makes the city amazing. But all of those things cost money. I mean, if you wanted to go and ski, just the gear and everything, that costs a fortune. Camping, gear, things like that costs a fortune. So I budgeted $300 for experiences. That includes gear, paying for national parks, paying for fees, things like that. $300, you can experience a few things around here. And then, of course, you've got travel costs. Now, this is beautiful British Columbia. There are so many places to see. Whistler, everywhere. Victoria Island, Tofino, surfing. There's just so much happening. But since we base this calculation on somebody that doesn't own a car, you need to get there. Now, there's a couple of ways. You can use public transport, but a lot of these places you are going to need to either get a taxi or rent a car or get an Evo or one of those, or an Uber to get where you want to go. Now, that is going to cost money. If you're an explorer, you're going to spend at least $350 a month just traveling. I mean, just to take a ferry with a car from Horseshoe Bay to Victoria Island, to Nanaimo and back, that sets you back around $150 if you include taxes and everything else. So, it's going to cost you money to do things and to get places. That is your entertainment cost. So entertainment, drinks, experiences, travel. And then there's a couple of extra costs that you need to always keep in mind. The reality is that you do need to probably get some life insurance or disability insurance, things like that. Now, as a youngster in the prime of your life, living on your own, you can probably get a couple of $100,000 worth of life insurance or disability insurance for about $85 a month, I guess. And then, of course, you do need to put something away for a rainy day. So I budgeted $200 for that. Now, if you add all of that together, it's actually astonishing because it comes to $4,918 a month in expenses. $4,918 a month. I mean, that's a steep amount of cash that you need to spend to live comfortably, in my opinion, as a single person in Vancouver. But, of course, that's not how much you need to earn, because you still need to pay taxes and Canada pension fund and all of those things. So in order to earn a take-home salary of $5,070 a month, which is what? 150 more than our calculation just came to, you need to earn a salary of $7,000 a month, or $42 an hour. So, I mean, that's not a lowball salary. That's fairly expensive. If you want to live on your own in Vancouver, then you need to have a decent job. If you want to live comfortably, basically as the way that I explained there, you need to have a decent job. I mean, $7,000 or $42 an hour is it's a lot. If you bear in mind that the average salary, and I'm just off the top of my head, I mean, the minimum wage, I think, is around $16.85. And then, you can probably get like normal labor jobs at around $20 to $22, waiters, stuff like that. And then, of course, marketing managers, office managers, that kind of thing, you're probably looking at around $20 between $25 and $30 an hour. So, I mean, basically what it means is, as a marketing manager, you're not going to be able to afford what I've just described. Anyway, folks, so that's just my take on how much it would cost to live in Vancouver on your own in 2023. All right, cheers.